Hello, Serge here for the Backyard Driving Range. All right, we got a little bit of a lengthy comment and question that came in, but it's a really good one. So I'm going to zip along and reading this thing, and we'll get to the meat of it and answering the question. He starts off by saying, now for my question. Keeping in mind that us professors are too often overly analytical, which are prompted by the driving instructional, and 1,000 thanks for the HD upgrade. If you look at a video, at 11:59 and 12:16, you can see DJ, he's talking about my son DJ now, moving the shaft of the driver as it moves up the tree, past vertical into what appears to be the sacred burial ground, across the toe line, although it's the club shaft rather than the hips. And if you look at page 8 of the short How to Make a Peak Performance Golf Swing Manual, that's the little swing book I believe he's talking about, we find a photo of the theoretically desired position, at least with shorter clubs. Now, is this move DJ makes to the driver okay, regardless of the PPGS theory, because he's a young, healthy, accomplished PGA player with fabulous eye-hand coordination? I also know that I basically do not see you moving the driver shaft beyond the toe line into the sacred burial ground when you swing. Okay, I'll address that all when we get to this second question. All right, so we're going for a double dipper here. Second question, from the driving video PPGS driver swing, the shaft position of DJ's drive when he addresses the ball is pointed roughly towards the body's midline, not quite, but in that direction. The shot at 30.14 of the video shows this clearly. And looking at the PPGS short manual, page 3, we see that unlike the alignment of the shaft with the left arm when swinging the shorter clubs, the driver shaft is no longer in alignment with the left arm. I understand, I think, when the driver shaft leans right rather than left due to the preloaded right side of the ball position at address, but this raises questions for me. First, should I consistently lean my driver shaft to the right? To date, I've been more or less keeping the driver shaft straight in line with my left hip socket. All right, so what he's talking about here again is the driver is, he wants to know if I'm standing here, should I keep with a ball, should I keep the driver in line with the left arm, pointing at the left hip, or should I have it back here more pointing at my belt buckle as he says he sees DJ doing? Okay? Yes, it must stay in line with the left side. DJ is not optimum in the position there, and I think it's given him a big problem, and we're working on that, and I think y'all see a big difference this year. And second, should I also begin to lean the shaft towards the right when swinging other longer clubs as the ball position moves forward of the middle, like my 3 metal? I place the ball about 1 inch. He goes into a lot of detail there. And then he goes on. He says, final note, he said, my son is about 1 year older than DJ, similar size. I'm trying to convert him to PPGS, but to no avail so far. When I start smoking him, maybe he'll listen to reason. Just keep letting him see some of these videos. Physics, physiology, I mean gravity, up and down. If he's rotational, I mean he's got to know that if he holds a club here, it falls straight down, he holds over here, it falls backwards. Heavy's not the best way. So just keep talking logic to him and common sense. And then like he says, by the way, I took a look at some of DJ's biomaterial on the web. What a great career to date. Interestingly, I'm almost a clone of DJ in terms of height and weight. Now if I could just hit like him. All right, well, let's see if we can get you straightened up where you have no more fog in your mind here about what's going on with the setup position. Yes, DJ has had a number of issues in his swing for the last 3-4 years, and many of you have seen it, and DJ knows it because I've talked to him about it. But he's been kind of like he's never left the swing, but he wasn't concentrating enough on making it and keeping it up to date. And I finally had a long talk with him. Sent him a letter last year and had a long talk with him, and I put the law down. I just said, Deej, if I'm going to keep being your teacher, you're going to start doing it the right way, because obviously you haven't been playing your best golf the last couple of years. Your ball striking, your stats are way off. Your green fairways and greens and regulations way off, and it's putting so much stress on your short game. I said, we got to get this back. So either you start doing it, or I'm not wasting my time with you anymore. And so he finally came to grips with things, and I said, and so I got him. I said, the biggest thing I wanted was that he'd lost his 3/4 swing, especially with his long clubs from the long irons to the woods. And I said, hey, you got to get 3/4 back. I said, if you don't get 3/4 back, I'm done. it's got to be 3/4. I said, no two ways about it. You had it till about 3 or 4 years ago, and you just kept letting it get longer and longer and longer, and when it gets longer, it gets deeper. So just like Max said here in that letter, he saw that DJ was getting a little bit deep. Yeah, he's been deep, and it's with the long irons to the woods, and especially the driver, because the longer you swing, the more turn you're going to have to get longer, and that's going to get you too deep. As we know, the left arm shaft should never get inside the toe line. Now, because we're on a diagonal plane, the only part of the arm at the top of a backswing and a 3/4 swing that'll be over the toe line will be the elbow to the shoulder. The elbow to the hand in the club has to be slightly inside because of the fact that we're on an inclined plane. But the upper arm, elbow to the shoulder, is still over the toe line. And the same thing's going to go with the right arm in the follow through. The right arm, elbow to the shoulder, will be over the toe line, pretty much pointing at the target, towards the target. And then when I finally recoil and relax, the whole arm will be back over the toe line. But at the very top, when I swing over with a club close to my ear, which is hard for me to do with these kind of hats, so when I get this close, the elbow to the hands will be inside. So the number one thing I demanded of DJ, I said, you must get back to 3/4, or I'm not wasting my time anymore working with you. And he's back to 3/4. All right? I had him 3/4. I got him back to 3/4 when he finally committed. I said, DJ, the swing's in your brain. Just go in your head and think about it and get it back. It's there. And all it is you got to commit to it. You just can't be cavalier about it. You got to commit to it. You got it. You had it for years. So I got him back to 3/4, and the swing is back to the toe line. But the one thing he's had trouble with, and he said to me that he tried working on it, but like I said, after the year ended, he decided to go hunting and take a lot of time off. And he said the one thing when he's occasionally practice is he's trying to move it up and he's just having trouble with it. He said, I'm just having trouble finding impact and everything else. And this is what I told him. And I said, Deej, there's no need to find impact. Impact is snapping of the finger or faster. I said, you can't find impact. All you got to do is you have to be in the right position up here, swing to the right position up there, and it'll be at impact at the right time because of the fact that our hands always get in front of our body, and it'll be perpendicular to the ground, perpendicular to your torso. And if you're parallel left, they'll be perpendicular to your aiming line, and the same thing with the face. And as I've always told you, and you've always heard me say, the club face in the bottom hand, right hand for me, left hand for a lefty, would be aligned with the club face. So that's why I always think of that hand as the club face. Whatever my right palm does, the club face does. And so I just said to DJ, I said, it's going to be a piece of cake. Next time we get together, all I'm going to do is get you to get up here, swing up here, get to that 3/4 position, and swing to the finish. And bam, when you swing up properly, toe up into the forward catcher's mitt and up the tree, the club will square off at impact. There'll be no problem with that. Boom. And then you get to recoil and relax. So I said, don't worry about it. He was kind of worried about it when he came over here, and I'm over to the house one time for Thanksgiving, and we talked a little bit of golf, not a whole lot, but a little. And he told me his concern about that, and he said he's been working on it, but he was just having trouble really getting the timing. I said, you can't get timing is not going to happen trying to physically and put your hand in the right place. You're in the right place here, in the catcher's mitt and up the tree, and when you swing in the catcher's mitt up the tree on that time, it'll square off every time, guaranteed, if you're swinging up properly in the backswing and then swinging up in the catcher's mitt and up the tree in the forward swing. It'll square up. So we start every club at the left hip. So I'm going to once I get them back up there, that'll come back a lot easier. And the best part about being up here, especially with the driver, but with all the clubs is that when you start here, you basically, and the shaft is definitely is kind of like shaft back, as we might say, versus shaft forward a little bit. But if it's shaft back, you got a complete 90-degree rotation you have to make of your forward arm, left arm for a right-hander. And so the more you're rotating, you have to rotate, the more it gives you an opportunity to over-rotate and get deep and turn too much and get too long. But when you start here, this is about 25 degrees less angle, and so you got less turning and you got better lift, because then the club's leading, going back in the backswing, which is what we want, to be able to lift it. So here is just causing a lot more rotation, and you got less time to do it because you're starting from here instead of there. You're already partially rotated here, so that more rotation can definitely cause you to do it too fast, too much, get inside and deep, and swing, take too much turn and get too long. All of the issues that DJ had. So that's why we're going to get it up here. You can quiet that down and get that lift up, and as you reduce movement, you can reduce angles, and we're all about less body and more arms, but correctly. So when I get him back up here and he's there, you're going to see it's going to be a big difference. And as long as he is right now, he'll be even longer, because it's going to actually make getting through the impact and into the finish a lot easier, because he's going to be up here over his, in a good position, get a better hand drop when he transitions, drop the club and be able to swing straight up, faster swing up into the catcher's mitt, because he's going to have a tighter body, less rotations, and boom, boom, he says the finish, recoil and relax, and he'll be hitting it much more solid and straight, as any of you will be if you were back here and you get yourself up here and just think about, don't think about the actual impact, just think about going from here to toe up and up the tree, and everything will just come down like the slap in the hand drill. Boom, boom, and go up. Okay? That's it for the search for today about the position of the club relative to the left hip in all your clubs, and how it affects the takeaway to impact and up the tree into the finish to get to the tee finish. Okay? Well, that's it for today, and I'll be talking with you all again soon.